Hi, and welcome to TTELT, Teaching Tips for English Language Teachers, a program of educators worldwide. I'm your host today, Melanie Gobert.
Hello, everyone. This is Melanie Gobert, your host for today's TTELT podcast. Teaching Tips for English Language Teachers is brought to you by educators worldwide. Today's guest is Majed Buledi, a teacher in Saudi Arabia. Majed is going to be talking to us about technology integration in teaching. Thank you for joining us, Majed.
Welcome. Thank you.
So what do you have to tell us about technology integration in teaching?
Actually, since we know that technology is now in flux, it's really fast, rapidly changing the way teachers teach and learners learn. We see every single digital native, as Prensky calls them, the learners with digital devices. Students come with their smartphones, tabs, and they want to learn through these devices. Most teachers now are switching the roles because of the pandemic. Mostly they came from traditional classroom towards modern digital platforms, and they're performing well. And this pandemic has benefited a lot of teachers and learners. And mostly we see the universities and colleges, schools went online through Zoom, Google Meet, and other platforms. And this helped teachers use technology. Some are digital immigrants who migrated from traditional classroom to the modern classroom, and others are digital natives, like younger teachers, like 20, 25 years old. These teachers have good grasp over knowledge of technology integration. Now, the thing is, teachers integrate technology at different levels. Dr. Benjudura calls them the 4 levels he suggested. Number 1, summer. It's a framework called summer framework. Number 1 is S, that is substitution, level of substitution. Most teachers, as this was also a topic of my doctorate thesis, technology integration in teaching and how it impacts learners' task engagement. So he proposed this summer framework, and this is based on RAT framework, previously known as RAT. That's called replacement, amplification, and redefinition. Similarly, summer is substitution, S for substitution of technology, like from chalk and talk to a projector. First, you taught through writing on a board. Now you're writing same thing on a projector, but students are looking at the screen. This is the only difference. After substitution comes augmentation. It's a slight modification, some functionality. For example, you're writing an essay on Microsoft Word, and when you're writing, Microsoft suggests you some grammatical errors that highlights it or underlines it, that this has an error or spelling error, or it suggests you some word change, these things, or you can comment on the document. This is a bit of functionality. It's called augmentation level. And the third level comes is modification. At this level, it modifies the teaching and learning process. Mostly, book is gone, pens are gone. It's on digital platform. For example, students are recording their voice through WhatsApp, send it onto a digital platform like Google Drive, and other students collaborate, listen to it, and then they give feedback on it. And that feedback is stored somewhere, for like collaborative learning and for teachers' feedback or comments or marking. So that's modification level. That's a higher level. It actually transforms teaching and learning. And the last level he defines or proposes is redefinition. That's completely changed, like ditch the book. No more books, no more pens. You're through on digital platforms like Google Meeting. You are here collaborating with the people around the world. For example, someone from US, UK, and then you are working on a project, you're getting government's help, and on that project, you are like designing, developing, editing, and then posting it later on online for on YouTube or blogs for the people to watch. Like it becomes highly redefined teaching. It's transformation. So these four teaching methods, like teaching, transforming traditional to modern teaching, this is how they integrate technology. These four levels of technology are suggesting that teachers should use these levels to maximize learners' engagement. What I saw, most teachers are at first basic two levels, substitution and augmentation. They're not moving up. It's because maybe students are not like that much proficient or techno geek or techno savvy. So mostly augmentation, like doing quizzes, Kahoot, that's augmentation. They're not going up more than that. And they're still using textbooks and others, but some universities like in the US and even in UAE, Dubai, they are paperless digital universities. So mostly students come without any books, any pens. They just come, join, and they learn through their digital devices. This is what it happens.
Hmm.
Yes, next question.
That raises some questions though about deep learning and reading.
Mhm.
So, I mean, like when I was at university, you know, we had to read chapter 7 and chapter 13 in another book, and then we had to read a couple of articles in the library. So where does that fit in?
About in the technology integration? Well, actually, as you're saying, deep learning or learning, it again depends how you're learning. You can learn through a textbook or you can learn on a digital device like Kindle or smartphone or screen. But I think this reading on screen helps you better. You know why? Because here you can annotate a document, you can add a lot of information as you go along, and you can improve, like understand the vocabulary. Some words or technical terms, jargons or register you don't understand, you can add to it, and that screen would suggest you that, or reading application would tell you, or even it can help you listen to it what you read, because what you read is not that much helpful if you are listening to it again after reading. For example, you read a document and you listen to it. So many apps have like this application for listening as well, like listen this document, or even now Chat PDF is a new app after Chat GPT. They have Chat PDF. You put a PDF document on it, and that the document summarizes for you the
Mhm.
content and the most important information from the data. Like you don't have to read 100 pages or like 10,000 words article, but it summarizes for you in 1,000 words. And this
Mhm.
saves your time and you understand so many things. So yes, it helps you. This technology helps you better in reading, deep reading, than reading simple textbook. Traditional teachers or traditional students, like old guys, no, it's to, even if you give a book to a learner, a digital learner, he's going to get bored in 2 3 minutes because it doesn't have color. It doesn't have graphic designing. It doesn't have like beautiful pictures and tables or pie charts. It doesn't like, the books are not that much impressive or attractive or motivating as the screen, because it moves, gives you suggestions. You know, the what you see, like Dale's, what's his name? Yeah, his um, that what he, a scientist, Dale, I think, yeah, he suggested that when you demonstrate something, students learn 50%. But when you are teaching someone, he learns like 10 to 50, 20%. But when they practice it, they'll come to 70% of memory, reinforcement, and long-term memory. It becomes part of it. The thing is, this when you are reading on digital devices, it helps you better than reading a simple textbook because of so many things involved in it. Yes, that's the answer to your question.
Now, you also mentioned task engagement. So what exactly do you mean by that?
Well, a task engagement involves three things at least, but different scientists and different studies suggest different ways, but mostly there are three things as I have studied through different aspects of task engagement. It's one, cognitive engagement. Task engagement is cognitive engagement, that your interest is there, your brain is there, and you are thinking about it. That's your cognition. And then there is another involvement called behavioral involvement, that yes, you love to do that. Your behaviors, yes, this is great thing to do. And then the last thing is your motivational engagement. It's also important in it that you are motivated to do it intrinsically or extrinsically, but you are highly motivated to do that task, particular task. And the last one is fatigue. I aided these four things, by the way. I thought these are the four things. This is the fatigue, like you are not tired and you are functioning well and you are healthy, you are not sleepy, no fatigue, because time around afternoon, normally afternoon classes are a problem for students. They'll be sleepy and tired because after lunch, they just feel to take some rest. So at 3 or 4 o'clock, if you're taking a class, they have fatigue, like they don't want to learn. So yes, the four things in the task: cognition, motivation, fatigue, and sustained behavioral involvement during the task. So these four things are the umbrella, like the task engagement has these four things under the umbrella, as I told you, four things, yeah. These four things.
Thank you very much, Majed. Thank you for joining us today on TTELT, Teaching Tips for English Language Teachers, program brought to you by educators worldwide. Thank you for your time and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us today. Share with us how you are using these tips. Leave us a comment or voice message on social media or at ttelt.org. Thanks for joining this episode of TTELT, brought to you by educators worldwide. Follow, like, and subscribe to TTELT on your social media and try a new teaching tip today.